Ready? Start. Sir, once the very motion which we are discussing today is an economic one. Stop. I would confine myself to the economics of it, knowing that economic problems can be solved only by economic solutions and not by political solutions. Stop. We are discussing a national issue which is of vital concern to the people. Stop. Prices are a national concern, and as legislators, it should be our duty to place the subject above party politics. Stop. I believe prices and tempers should not rise simultaneously, at least on the floor of the house. Stop. It can happen in the market where prices and tempers rise together, but when tempers cool down, prices do not follow suit. Stop. That being the experience of life, let us try to understand the problem rationally, logically, and dispassionately. Stop. Let me reiterate today that what we are discussing is the current price situation and not the references to the past are, of course, always necessary in any analysis of the economic forces because economic wisdom is largely retrospective. Stop. But let us not be bogged down in mutual recrimination because we want this debate to generate more light than heat, and that I hope that is the desire of everyone participating in it. Stop. But that has not been the trend so far. Stop. When we discuss the trend in the current prices, we have to remember the positive indications. Stop. It is a fact that the annual rate of inflation in terms of the wholesale price index has come down progressively from 22% in January 1986 to 14% in the January 1997 and further to 10% in August 1997. Stop. I am afraid I have to give some figures because we have heard distorted figures and I would like to correct the position. Stop. In August last year, the wholesale price index has risen by 12% over that of the previous year. Stop. But on August this year, it rose only by 6%. Stop. Here I am not underestimating the fact that the rate of inflation in the country is still high and even downward percentage changes in the rate of inflation cannot conceal the fact that they are indeed growth upon growth. Stop. The finance minister said this year that the prices would soon hit a plateau, but hitting a plateau is not enough. Stop. Para, we have to ensure that after reaching a plateau, the prices actually slide downhill. Stop. I shall not extensively dwell on the contributory factors of price rise because, as I said earlier, this is no occasion for mutual recrimination. But if one objectively analyzes the factors responsible for the massive price rise, I am sure many of you members sitting in the opposition will agree with me that you cannot evade responsibility for the entirely for this entirely. Stop. The largest bungling with public finances and the total breakdown in infrastructure has been of the greatest tragedies in our economic life, and the shadow of that is still with us today. Stop. I shall also not go into the global factors such as the progressive rise in the prices of crude and also rise in the prices of other commodities which we have to essentially import. Stop. Para. These are factors on which we have little control. Stop. However, we must consider the relative weightage of these factors on the general price rise. Stop. The changes are already visible during the current financial year. Stop. For example, the impact the petroleum price rise on the overall price increase this year stands at 18%, which is slightly less than what it was last year. Stop. There has been a substantial fall in the contribution of sugar and good. It was just about 2% this year, in contrast to as high as 39% last year. Stop. On the other hand, what has sharply risen is the share of vegetable prices, milk and milk products, fish and meat, cereals, pulses, oilseeds, and edible oils. Stop. On the whole, it has followed a pattern. Whatever is subject to seasonal variations has become scarce, and therefore dear. I am prepared to put it down to climate factors to some extent. Stop. But at the same time, I must request the Honorable Finance Minister to enlighten us on this as to why there has been a failure in poultry and dairy sectors. Stop. Even butter today has disappeared. Stop. It is scarce in Delhi and in other cities too. Stop. We would like you to enlighten us as to why such a situation has arisen. Stop. There are other confusing issues. Stop. We are told by the Agricultural Ministry that there has been a good sugarcane crop this year. Stop. If that has been so, why we are importing 2 lakh tons of sugar this year? Question mark. We are fortunate that the agriculture minister is sitting here. Stop. I would like him to enlighten us on this point. Stop. I hope that finance minister will bridge this small information gap. Let me go to the main strategies that are being applied by the government. Stop. Over.